All right, last part of this chapter, the basic concepts of probability, is all about odds. Odds. A few things about odds here. Because the use of odds makes some calculations pretty difficult, most people or most prefer to use probabilities instead. The main use of odds, as you probably know, is dealing with money transfers associated with gambling, casinos, lotteries, and racetracks. Um, Odds do correspond to actual probabilities, but payoff odds, which is what you see a lot of times in casinos and also on racetracks, are set by the operators of the racetracks and casinos, basically so they can make sure that they make a profit even if they pay out money. So there's a payoff odd and there's like the real odds. And that's what we're going to look at real quick. Um, Actual odds against is what you see the most. Is this? It's just a ratio of the complement of A, or the ways that A cannot happen, over the ways that A can happen. So the total is not even in here. It's the complement of A over, well, sorry, the probability of the complement of A over the probability of A, and they express it in the form of a ratio like A to B. Where A and B are integers, and it's in lowest terms, no factors in common. Odds in favor is just the opposite of that. They put the probability of A happening over the probability of the complement of A. Just reciprocal of what you just saw. Don't see this one as much. Usually it is the actual odds against. And so this one would be B to A instead of A to B. Payoff odds against A occurring are the ratio of net profit, if you win, to the amount bet. That's where they change things a little bit, which we're going to see in an example in just a second. The payoff odds against of NA are the net profit you would make to the amount you bet. All right, and I'm going to show you exactly what that means here on the next slide. Here we go. If you bet $5 on the number 13 in roulette, your probability of winning is this. That's your real probability. And the payoff odds of the casino are 35 to 1. Do you see how they're different? That's really 36 total versus 38, 39 total. So that's the difference right there. That makes the casino make money. We'll look at that right here. Part A, find the actual odds against the outcome of 13. Well, the probability for it is 1/38, so the complement is 37 38. The probability against winning is 37 out of 38. So the odds would be 37, which are the ways that it cannot happen, and 1 being the way it could happen. So you can look at it like this, like 37 over 38 to 1 over 38, and then the 38's just cancel each other out, so you get 37 to 1 odds against you winning. Part B, how much net profit would you make if you win doing 13? Well, it's 35 to 1, which means you would make $35 on a $1 bet. $35 on a $1 bet, which means if you bet $5, the more you bet, the better off you're going to be. If you bet $5, you would do 35 times 5, which would be 175. You'd win $175 if you bet $5 on 13, if you won. And the odds of you winning are 37 to 1, which, not that great. Part C, if the casino was not operating for profit and the payoff odds were changed to match the actual odds against, how much would you win? So the casino sets these odds, 35 to 1. The real odds are 37 to 1, which means if they went by the real odds, you'd win $37 on a $1 bet. And of course, most people bet more than $1. So if you did a $5 bet, you would do 5 times 37, which would be, 185. So what the casino is doing is they're making $10 even if you win. All right, so most casinos are in it for profit, so that's what happens to them there. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense how the odds work. So when you see those, you can kind of tell. Now, if you're at a racetrack, you're going to see the payoff odds versus like the actual odds. Okay, Katrina must select at random a chip from a box to determine which question she will receive in a math contest. There are 6 blue and 4 red chips in the box. If she selects a blue chip, she will have to solve a trig problem. If the chip is red, she'll have to write a geometry proof. Some of you are probably like, oh, she loses both ways. What are the odds that Katrina will have to write a geometry proof? Okay, um, so that's odds for geometry proof. So she has a 4 out of 10 chance probability of writing a geometry proof and a 6 out of 10 chance of not writing a geometry proof. When we reduce those, that's 2/5, that's 3/5. The denominators are the same, so you're really looking at odds of being 2 to 3. So the odds are 2 to 3 that she will write a geometry proof. It'd be 3 to 2 against her writing a geometry proof, which is what you see the most. So that's all there is today. Very short. I wanted to introduce you to the concept of odds because, at some point in your life you're going to see odds of something happening or not happening and payoff odds. So now you kind of know what that's talking about. So we'll talk about this more tomorrow as usual. See you. Bye.